Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, COVID edition. We're talking COVID every day now, how people are functioning through COVID. Did your life stop because of COVID? We're asking different people from different professions to come in and tell us about their business and how you could access them. Our next guest is Dr. Najeeb Chaudhry. Am I close?
Yes.
Very close. And you do help people with prosthetics.
Yes.
What is a prosthesis?
So prosthesis, depending on its replacement of their limbs, arms, whatever they're missing,
Okay.
whether it's due to car accident, diabetes, whatever the cause is, we replace it.
Okay.
There are many different types of prosthesis. They can be simple as a foot prosthesis where they're missing toes. They get cut off due to infection. A lot of diabetic patients, this is where they start out with. Then they start missing one toe, all the toes, we replace it. This is one called toe filler. So this is the lowest form of that amputation. Then we start talking about some people lose that ankle. So then some people below the knee, and other people are above the knee. So we most often the studies have below the knee. So below the knee, whether one side or another, it makes it easier to wear a prosthesis. So what I wanted to show people and educate most of my audience was that when you come in, it's a process. Okay. What people have to understand, prosthesis is a process. And so you get the prescription. Number one thing they have to understand for a prescription, it is like any other prescription. You can go wherever you want.
Right.
You're not directed to go anywhere, even though if the doctor wrote to a specific vendor, you don't have to go there.
You don't have to go to them. Oh, no. That's good for our audience to know that. Yeah.
So you can go, it's just, I give them the example, it's always if doctor writes you medicine prescription, you can go to pharmacy, Walmart, Rite Aid, whatever you want. Yeah. Same thing. And you go wherever you get service. So we try to be the best in our service in town. So as far as education goes, when you come in, you bought the prescription, we evaluate you, and then we wrap you and we make a cast of your leg. Then the first thing we do is we get these things called test sockets, which are clear, plastic. They can have whatever they need arrangement for locking or just regular. But the idea is we can see the fit in here to make sure that it's smooth fit. You don't have any pressure points. Do we need to relieve it? Because plastic's easy to heat and relieve. Okay. Okay? So then this is the first step. So if that is good, then we go to making their final socket. So final sockets can have anything you want on it. For example, I had a Raiders fan.
Nice.
So
Look
we
at
can
that.
do Raiders. Other people like the football soccer team here.
Yeah.
So we do theirs. Whatever. So to do this, all they need to do is bring a T-shirt in with the design, and we'll laminate it into it.
Into it, okay.
Yeah, so this is one. Then as far as the prosthesis goes, what does it look like? A prosthesis has three components below the knee. A socket. This is called a bar. Any bar can hold it up, and the foot. Okay. This is it for below the knee. So when they have this one done, they can have any design on it. So this is called suspension varies. One suspension is sleeve, like this one. Okay. So they don't put anything in there. They just put the leg in there with the liner or socks, and then they pull the sleeve up. It holds on their leg, and they're able to walk as they want. If you want, this is pin locking, meaning there's a lock of a pin on the end of their liner, and then that locks into it. One of the ultimate things is to cover the prosthesis. So some people today don't mind showing their flesh, as they say. Don't mind showing their prosthesis, what they're wearing.
Used to never see that, but now more and
more. More people are not concerned about it because it's more acceptable now. But people that are still more conservative, they don't want their kids to maybe get hurt, they'll put a cover on it. Okay. The cover has two functions. One, to make sure it protects what's underneath it. But more, you can shape it so it looks like the regular leg, from the outside. So, but that's the main difference in prosthesis. So the other one is above the knee. So when we go above the knee, you have to think about it, how do we replace the knee? Right. That's the knee joint is what has to be replaced. Every joint you take away, you have to replace it, otherwise it doesn't work. The peg leg joke, that's why they have it, because the peg leg, there's nothing, you just have a peg leg.
Just a peg leg.
That doesn't work as smooth. And a knee, the knees vary, as low as 5,000 to high as 100,000. Depending on what you want.
How complex?
Well, it's not. It's computerized, right? So to make it, for people, safety is number one concern. So some people cannot balance themselves. So you can computerize the ankles as well as the knees to help you, assist you, so you don't fall.
Right. Now, did they have that 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
No, the word was experimental, which is insurance doesn't want to pay.
They don't do experimental, yes.
So, but now today, with all the technology and all the advancements we have, you're much better served and much better educated. You can have computerized ankle or the knee, and then that is it. Arms, some people decide to live without the arms. You know, whether they have that at the wrist, very common.
Yep.
People have missing fingers, they don't get anything hardly just because it's a cosmetic thing.
Yes.
Elbow, and when they lose elbow, some people get the whole shoulder harness, but they can work. You know, a fisherman can go fishing because they can put on a hook. They can put a glove hand and all these things. Today they have Michelangelo hand, which is hand can play soft enough. Each finger can move. They can play piano. Nice. So these are the great advancements in technology today.
Now, let me, who usually pays for the prosthetic?
Most insurances.
Most insurance,
and that is, for most people living in the Valley, the hardest thing for them to understand is your insurance sometimes that dictates the terms on what you can get. Your doctor may want you to get the best. Everybody may want you to get the best, but the insurance really
pays so much.
They dictate this is what we're going to give you. And unfortunately or fortunately, because the Valley is 50 to 60% on Medi-Cal, they have terms on what you cannot
very
give.
Limited.
Yes.
Now, comfort seems like that'd be a very important thing.
Yes. So that's why we started with that test socket. Once again, we want to make sure you're comfortable in this before we make one of these. And you can line these hard sockets with the liners, like this plastic liner in here. So all of this is to make it comfortable.
Yes.
And that other thing people have to understand is prosthesis is another relationship you have to develop with a prosthetist because you're going to have to come back. Today, the leg might feel fine.
Okay.
2 months down the line, something's bothering you. Come back.
Yeah. That's why you want to get a good doctor who really cares, so they can go back. They can feel comfortable going back. They don't need to be embarrassed or uncomfortable. Go to the right doctor the first time, such as Najeeb. Chaudhry. Sorry. KMY Prosthetic and Orthotic. A lot of hard words in this segment for me to get.
You know, medical, that's how they make a living, right? Make a big word. So
big words, but you have a good website, right?
Yes.
What is that web address?
It's www.kmyop.com.
KMYOP.com.
Yep.
Also, you could call the office at 277-3909. Or you could call me at Central Valley Talk. I'll give you Najeeb's direct number if that's okay.
Yes.
Don't feel uncomfortable. Don't go through life with something that doesn't fit and doesn't work for the rest of your life. It's miserable. Go to the right doctor first.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that quickly, whenever you become amputee, do not wait. Some insurances deny them, so people go 3 to 4 years without leg and put them in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing one can do themselves. They have to fight for themselves sometimes.
Okay. But you know how to get things through the insurance.
Yes.
So go talk to Dr. Najeeb. If your insurance is saying no, maybe you could figure something out. Who knows?
And free consultation.
Free consultation. That's nice. Okay.
Yeah, we always do free consultation. So never worry about, hey, you know what, I'm going to have to pay. Just come by. Even if you don't have an order, we'll look at it and we'll go from there.
Figure it out somehow.
Yes.
Very good. Anything else our viewers should know?
No, just come by and let us know if we can help you.
Yeah. What is the most common prosthetic?
Below the knee.
Below the knee. Okay.
It is by far across the U.S. It's almost 60-70% is below the knee.
A lot of time because of diabetes.
Right now, diabetes, but even trauma. You know, whether it's from car accident or motor accident, it is always trauma or behind number 2. But right now, circulation. Diabetes is one cause, but circulation. A lot of people lose circulation due to diabetes and vice versa, and that is the most common cause right now in the Valley.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Dr. Najeeb Chaudhry, call him at 559-277-3909. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Mike, for having me.
So, COVID, no COVID, you can still go see Najeeb, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Open 8 to 5.
8 to 5. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.